My passion. I have enough passion. First of all, so many passions, okay? I love talking to people. That is just a given. It's a natural talent, a gift, if you would want to say that.
Okay. All right.
And as such, I wanted to start my own podcast.
Oh.
And I actually launched and everything. Oh my God, it was a whole thing. You would have had to be there.
Okay, all right. We'll have to find this. Theatrics from
But that is my passion, yes.
your podcast, the talk.
Yes.
About
to
anything?
talk,
Just
just everything. Well, it was going to
special
be
topics.
geared towards females initially and things that are important to us, things that we struggle with and we go through. Because I feel like it's not publicized enough, you know? And some of the stuff we just leave it in the back and we don't talk about it at all because it's so painful or we don't want to share that part of us,
Right,
you know?
right.
So it was She Speaks Out and we're just speaking about everything that affects us. Period. Crampings. Oh my God, it keeps you in bed for days. Nobody talks about that, but it's like, oh, you want to have a baby, but you got to go through all that stuff too. So it's, a whole bunch of things. So
All right.
that is my passion. I think female is my passion, like us and what we go through. So yeah,
It offers support.
women empowerment. Yes,
That's right.
Yes,
Empowerment.
definitely.
And then just like a safe space just to talk about it because I feel
Yeah.
like we go through so much, but not all the time we really verbalize it.
Yes.
So that's cool.
But when you verbalize it, it helps other people understand that
True.
I'm not the
Yes.
only person going through it.
Right.
It affects everyone else in different ways. So I think that's a good support system. We need to support each other.
And it helps you too, the person that is going through it, because there's some stuff that you would not process unless you speak it out loud.
Yeah.
Even if it's not in a crowd, even if it's just in your bathroom, just going through it by yourself in the mirror, like, bro,
Yeah.
we went through this and we made it.
Yes.
Okay.
Lord.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't even know that it's the thing that you're going through, to be honest.
That's true.
Yes.
Because
You didn't name it. You know that you feel a certain way. You don't feel like yourself, but you didn't give it something that you can identify with. And then as such, it stays with you. You don't release it until, okay, this is my depression. And that is why I'm feeling like this. Oh my God, I was depressed. No wonder I was cranky all this time.
Talk about it.
So it's like until you can identify it, there's no way to release it,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes I kind of get in this survival mode. So it seems normal
Yes.
because you're just surviving.
Yeah.
I got through today, even though I had to deal with all
Yeah.
of that, but I got through today.
And you were
And the
going
next
through
day,
it.
and the next day, and the
Yeah.
next day. So.
Right.
And you've been doing this since you were 21, so it's normal, And we think that it is supposed to be this way when you see other people like, oh my God, she's not doing that?
Right.
So I'm the one over here struggling with this? Girl, what was you doing with your life?
We were taught to adapt, take it in and figure it out. Pain.
Yeah.
No pain is no gain. Right.
Struggle through it. Toughen it out. Let's go.
And
Why are you crying?
I think as Caribbean women, I think it's just been taught to us that, depression isn't real. Anxiety isn't real. Those things, you just kind of put it in the back corner, only crazy people have those things, right? And you just or it's a white man's disease, right? But we don't talk about those things until someone has a mental breakdown and then it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is real, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's something, culturally that we just kind of push through, right? We see our parents do it. We've seen our mothers do it. They hold down the household.
That's
They
the
hold
norm.
down their marriage. And it's like, oh, I want to be like this. But then when you become an adult and you're like, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for.
She made it look real easy. It's not.
She did. But then when you look back and then you realize certain moments that, mom was sad or mom was depressed or mom was, but yelling and she was frustrated, but you didn't know why. But that is because, again, we didn't name it, right? We just kind of went through and mom was just holding it down. And it's sad, but we kind of picked up what we saw, right? And we just roll with it and just kind of go with it. And
and it's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they made it okay.
Exactly.
How dare you try to come and change it too?
Exactly.
You know, because you even get a fight too with families if you're trying to change stuff, creating boundaries. How's that? Why can't I show up at your house at 10 o'clock at night like I always do? What is a boundary?
Immediately. You don't love me if you do that, okay? How dare you?
Yeah, I called you last night after 11. Why didn't you pick up?
Because I didn't want to talk to you.
My do not disturb was on.
I needed a break.
I needed a break. Like, give me a second, okay? Maybe that's why I live a few states away, you know? Because nobody can just show up. You would have to catch a plane and then, to be able to just show up at my place, right? But I love that this generation, we're learning to break those cycles and just starting a new cycle for ourselves and just speaking up for ourselves and setting those boundaries and letting people... saying no and not feeling bad about it, because a lot of times, especially as women, we're taught to just say yes. They ask you to do something, you just do it, right? And at the end of the day, it's like, well, what about me? What can I do for myself? You know, and so we overexert ourselves and then we burn out. And then we have nothing left to give because we're burnt out and we're pouring from an empty cup. And so what is it that you have to do to fill your cup up in order to be able to fill other people up? And so we're taught to just be nurturers, right? And which is great, like, to nurture other people, but how do we nurture ourselves? So that's my take on it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just so funny that, I don't know, like somewhere in my 30s, I'm just learning these things. Isn't that crazy?
It's not.
No, I mean, it's happened.
I mean, at least you're getting there. And it's just like they've been saying, you have to unlearn and relearn. And that's what it is. Like, in your 20s, you kind of just go along with what people are saying. Okay, they said I should do this. Let me do it. But you're getting older, so you're finding your own way, and that's okay.
The new thing is learning to say no. I have to work on that. Big time. Learning to say no and being okay with it. Don't feel bad that you said no.
Yeah. It's taken me a long time. I'm still fighting with that, saying no, but I've gotten a little bit better. Because I know what it's like to be burnt out, right? Because you're just doing so much. And at the end of the day, like, why do I want to keep doing that? And then that's another thing. People take advantage of you as well, too, when they know, oh, Janice is going to say yes.
Always, yeah.
Oh, Vanessa's going to say yes. Felicia's going to say yes. So Adrian's going to say yes. So I'm just going to ask the most outlandish request, and they are not going to say no to me. And people will push that. And until you say no and you set that boundary, they're going to keep doing, oh, I know she's going to say yes. I don't even have to ask. And they sign you up for stuff, and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait, did you even ask me?
When did I consent to this? Yeah. And then they try to guilt trip you, right? And I know people have been overusing this word gaslight. We're not even gonna go there, but it's been overused, right? But some people will gaslight you and make you feel terrible or make you feel like you're crazy for saying no or for setting that boundary. So it's just all about being secure in yourself and knowing that, okay, yes, I can do this, or no, I can't. And this is the reason why, as long as you're okay on the inside, hey, it doesn't matter who's not okay, you know?
Yeah, so, definitely. So what's your passion?
My passion? Oh, I love talking to people as well, too, but makeup is my other passion.
Okay, makeup.
Yeah. She did my face.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's pause for intermission. Shout out to the makeup artist.
Come on, makeup artist.
All of us.
All of us.
Yes.
All of us. Yes.
Okay,
Thank
amazing.
I love doing makeup. I love when people sit in my chair, the conversations that I get to have with people, just learning about, everyone's backgrounds, and it brings something out of women, and it's about empowerment as well too, right? And so I feel like when I do someone's makeup, I get to uplift them. I get to speak life into them, and sometimes my clients speak life into me as well too, right? But it's just that bonding and connecting moment where it's like, Adrian and I just met a month ago, right? But you would have never known,
right?
I did her makeup, and at first she was shy. She was nervous. She was like, I don't know. I had to talk her into some things, I was like, can I do a red lip, but not too red? She's like, I don't know. But we had such a great time, that hour and a half. And so for me, I think that's what makeup does. It's like, my motto is allow me to enhance your God-given beauty, right? Yeah. So everyone is beautiful, right? And I'm just enhancing what God has given to you. And in that process, I get to just, uplift and, just talk and just, it's a safe space. If you want to vent, go ahead and vent. If you're going to cry, let me know ahead of time before I do your mascara and eyes. But if you want to cry, go ahead. Go ahead and cry. Or if you have some good news, hey, share it. And you feel like you need to share that news with somebody, go ahead and share. If you need me to pray with you, I've prayed with clients in that chair as well too. I will pray with you. Whatever it is, I want my chair to be that safe space that, when you sit in there, I can be at ease for at least that hour and a half, hour long I'm on your face. So that's what makeup, I enjoy it.
I love that. How long have you been doing
makeup?
5, going on 6 years now.
Oh, okay.
5 to 6 years, yeah. So,
nice.
Yes.
And it brings out the beauty in the person that's sitting in that chair.
Yes.
They may not have thought they were that beautiful, but after your handiwork, we just feel like a different person.
Hence Adriana, a whole different person. That's right, Adriana over here.
Over here.
A whole 10 minutes on her phone after you were
done. Right. So that's a gift. It's a gift.
It took a while for me to acknowledge that it was a gift. Again, Caribbean background, right? So it's either you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, nurse. They're okay with nurses, But so for me, it didn't feel like it was a passion or something to do until I, really started taking it seriously. And people started requesting for me to do their face. And I'm like, you want me? Like, what? You sure? You sure?
Yeah.
Because I would do my own makeup and then people would say, oh, can you do my makeup? And that's how I got started. And then eventually, taking classes and courses with one-on-one courses with professionals and, working with them. And that's how I got to build my skill. But at first, I was trying to run away from it. I'm like, please, not me.
Mama would not approve.
Not me. But, it's blossomed into something beautiful. So I enjoy it and I love it. So
how did you start doing makeup?
Okay, so that's this story. Okay, so when I was in high school, they didn't have much, right, for women of color. Okay, and I was in high school, so I couldn't afford MAC. All right, okay. So when I would go to the drugstore, you go to Walmart, the Maybelline. They've stepped up their game since then.
Okay.
But back then, it was just either clay or sand colors, right? So I really didn't do much makeup. I used to, in middle school, I would do the lip liner and the lipstick, and that was about it as far as makeup, right?
Right.
My gloss was popping at all times, okay? Right? Just let it be known, okay? But I think my mom got tired of me not wearing makeup to like special events as I got older, right? So I was about 20, 21, and she made a joke. She said, I didn't know I had 3 sons. So I have 2 brothers, right? So she said, I didn't know I had 3 sons.
Wow.
And I was like, ooh.
Okay, Mom. Talk about a knife to the heart.
Wow. She did not sugarcoat that.
She did not sugarcoat it, no. And the thing is, my mom and I are different skin complexions, right? So my mom, she always like did her little rouge and whatnot. My mom is about your color, your shade. So I was like, oh, excuse me, right? So I went to Sephora, and that's where I purchased my first 5 products, right? I think it was a foundation, a blush, a brush, and maybe a highlighter, maybe 2 or 3. It was about 5 products. And that's how I got started. And, just started learning how to put these products on and just working it. And I realized, I really do love this. Yeah. And then, of course, everybody starts learning from YouTube University.
Yeah.
So,
yes, YouTube.
Proud graduate of YouTube University. Thank you. Shout out to Jackie Ina, because that's where I started learning from. Okay. Listen, Jackie Aina,
Give the props where they're
listen, okay? In the mid 2000s, queen of Black women doing makeup. So that's where I learned on how to, you know, different complexion, different skin tones, and then, you know, following different artists and whatnot. And yeah, that's how I really got started into makeup. So shout out to my mom for
for that
disrespecting
comment.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom.
What? 3 sons, yes. But now she complains, right? Whenever I would getting ready for church and oh, you're taking too long. This is your fault. This is your fault.
I have to become.
Yes, I have to become. This is your fault now. So when you get upset that I'm, you know, taking an hour to do my makeup, it's your fault, man. You did this. So
that's amazing.
Yes, ma'am. And what about you, Janice?
So my passion varies. I would say creativity is where I started, where I start. So basically, I like crafting. Doing different crafts, and so I would always see something like, I can make that.
Of course.
I see that sign, I can figure that out. And so from there, it turned into, I do events.
Wow.
And it started from when I was getting married. The colors, you know, basic wedding colors were pink, purple, and I wanted Tiffany blue, and chocolates. And there was nothing out there.
Yes.
Okay, come on, man.
So then I had to figure out how to make it. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can plan my own shower. I can plan my own wedding. But then my mother was like, no, because it's your wedding. So you have to do the day of. So basically I started doing that. Started doing event planning, baby showers, birthday parties, that kind of thing. So that is but crafty. So if I needed to figure out how to make that label on the bottle, I'm going to figure that out and make it. And if that's what you would like,
of course.
What would you like me to do for you, Adrienne? I got you. So I think that's it. Coordinating, organizing, that kind of thing. So those are my main things that I like to do.
Let me tell you, I've never met somebody with more gadgets than Janice. Okay, Janice has so many.
She has
gadgets.
something for anything.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Literally. And she doesn't give herself enough credit. This woman is amazing. Yes, she does a lot. Listen, I went to a birthday party graduation party. Last month it was. I said, oh, okay, come on, Janice. Yes,
I did not know that.
Yes.
I mean, I know like you like events and coordinating just from seeing you at church, but I didn't know about the craft.
Yes,
That's
craft
so
apps.
cool.
Yes. And YouTube University and also Pinterest. Thank you, because you can see it and it shows you how to do it. So it's great. I got it. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not have a creative, but when it comes to that, my creativity just
not for the craft.
But you have a creative. You know, everyone has something creative inside.
Yes.
It just depends on what it is. Some people like to do writing. But you know, hey.
You got it. So what was like your best event that you've done so far?
My best event that I've done so far, I think it was a birthday party. It's been a birthday party. I did a 30th birthday party, and we did themed out. It was Tiffany blue, so that was easy because it was already in my thing. And we did the Tiffany birthday theme and the little boxes, the little cute Tiffany boxes and the decorations. Those kind of that was my favorite one that I did.
I'm sure they enjoyed it too.
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Got you, girl.
What has been your most challenging project to work on?
I think the most challenging project may have been a wedding, my cousin's wedding.
Okay.
Just because it's your family, so you're trying to make sure it's perfect. Not that I don't make sure everyone's perfect, but I just want it to be, everything line up and work together. And it started late, and I'm very an event. It's got to be punctual. It's got to be punctual, and they ran late. So then, of course, it pushes everything else back.
Yeah.
That was the hardest one. But at the end of the day, hey, it was beautiful. It just was very late. And I said, hey, it's beyond my control. But it was beautiful, and we loved it. Yes,
but it's a wedding rule. Everybody knows it's okay to be late.
Yes, but not that late. Not that late. Not that late. But it turned out beautiful, and everybody loved it. But it was super late.
Wow.
So I had to say, hey, this is not a Janice all the way. So, but yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
What has been your favorite events to do?
I love baby showers because we're so excited for the baby to come.
Yeah.
Baby showers as well as, birthday parties. Those are fun. Okay. Everybody's excited for that, the blessing of another year and the blessing of new baby. So those are my favorites. I like the new thing. My sister, I've encouraged her, so she is now doing balloons. So I have her helping, and she's fantastic. Like, she ran with it. I tried to do one balloon thing, and I said I can't organize and balloon, and she took over the balloons, and I'm like, hey, you got
That's
it.
good.
Let's do that.
So do you find venues too for people if they wanted you to find venues?
We
and
help.
stuff?
I help find venues.
Caterers.
Yes, we'll work on caterers too as well. Whatever you guys need.
Okay, what's the name of your business?
So it's a group, and it's called. We're still working on it, but it's the Tina J Event Company.
The Tina J. Okay,
The Tina J, because I have a Tina and a J that's in the background. They're not here with me, but we work together on the events.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, shout out to Tina J. Okay. Okay, listen, I shout you out. I need some discounts.
You're right. I got you.
What has been the weirdest request or event that someone has asked you to decorate or organize, and you're like, ugh?
I haven't had too many nothing weird yet.
Okay.
I think with what happened is we started right before COVID.
Okay.
And COVID came, and so we stopped, right? And we did a couple events. Actually, that was a fun event. That was the first one we did, was during COVID. It was my brother-in-law's 50th. And we did a Cuban theme. We did outside, but we had to do masks. We had to take temperatures. That was real.
Right.
Wow.
It
So
was
much fun.
So much fun. So much fun. But so because of COVID, events became drive-throughs.
Yeah.
So then everything was, hey, we're going to decorate outside, put some balloons out, and you're going to drive by, drop off your gift, say hi, and we'll see you later. So that was the thing that we had to figure out how to change it, but still make it unique for people to, celebrate, because life didn't stop with COVID, right? I'm still having a birthday. I'm still having a baby. Weddings weren't, it was just the bride and the groom, if they still did that.
Yeah.
But you still wanted to celebrate. You still want to do things.
Yeah.
So I think that was different. I liked the idea that they came up with the drive-through so that you could still celebrate people.
Okay. All right. Cool. Miss Adrian. Or Adriana. Who are we speaking to?
Please clarify.
Let us know.
My passion is poetry, writing, I should say.
Okay. Come on.
So it's so funny because it's not, I just recently started. I mean, I've always loved literature growing up. And in school, I've always loved to read poetry and write poetry. And that kind of, stemmed from my mom, because she was also very artistic and she loved the performing arts and all of that. But kind of like Vanessa mentioned, that in terms of like career choices, of course, from the Caribbean background, there is always that, you felt that pressure that you needed to, either do something in the sciences or, doctor, lawyer, nurse,
engineer,
and that. And so that's kind of where I focused on the sciences. But even then, it's so funny because when I was in high school, you may not be like familiar with how the Jamaican education system is, but like when you're in, is it 12th grade? Sixth form, you'd say 12th grade here. So you focus on a specific like group of subjects. So depending on what you wanted to do in college. So for me, it was the sciences. But even though I was focusing on the sciences, I was like the only student in that group that was like doing literature, like still studying literature. So when everyone else was like off to math class, I would just take my little backpack off to literature class. It was so weird. But I kind of, looking back now, I feel like that was kind of me, like still kind of holding on to that part of me, kind of holding on to my interest. But I feel like, after going off to college, I just never looked back that way in terms of what my passion is. So I just went off to pharmacy school, and then, what we do after that, just making life, right? And so, yeah, for many years, I just have not really delved in that part of me until recently. I was like, this is really what I like, and I'm going to start to write. Yeah.
So what do you write?
it's...
Or what have you
written?
What have I written? Well, the first piece I wrote was called She Found Her Pen, which I feel for me was like so symbolic because that's exactly what it was for me. Finding my pen again, finding my passion, being able to delve deep and kind of uncover everything that I was thinking, everything that I went through, that I didn't put on paper. I didn't express through, that medium that I really love. And so that's what the poem is. And I'm on Instagram, so you can check me out.
Okay.
And She Found Her Pen.
Okay.
That was my first piece, and I'm so proud of it. But also, what was very big for me this year was actually sharing that with the world. It was such a big step and a big moment for me. I wrote that poem 1 year before I actually decided to put it out on Instagram. And it was, that was a very big step for me and an important step, I think. Just really leaning into and embracing what I love.
Yeah. Why do you think it took a whole year to put it out, though? Like,
It's just doubt, self-doubt. Focusing on, I don't know if it's all creatives, but do you kind of find, because I think everybody here has that kind of creative edge, but I think especially in writing, you're so focused on what other people might think about your work, because, and I think for me, it's because a lot of the things that I write is actually what I go through and experiences, and so to put it out there, man, people can be so nasty on the internet, and I think that was kind of my biggest fear. Oh, what would people say? What are they going to think about that? They're not going to like it. Da, 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 da. And it's kind of exactly what the poem, coincidentally, what the poem is saying, just letting go of all those limited beliefs, all those doubts, just put it out there, like let the world see it. Let them peruse it, whatever they think, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, the poem ends by saying that my pen found me, and which is so very true, because by writing and expressing my emotions in that way, you find that a lot of repressed, thoughts, grief, everything comes out, and it's so important, I think, for us to really face those feelings and thoughts head on. And that's what poetry does for me.
nice.
So how do you feel now that it's out there and you've received positive feedback, of course?
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. I'm in a very good place. At first, I was so nervous. It was so weird because when I first posted that poem, my heart was like, found it.
Yeah.
I remember going back and I would check every second. I would check to see, let me see, did anybody like it? Did anybody leave a comment?
Stalker much?
How many people viewed it, Yeah. And I went through that phase, but I think right now I'm at a space where I write and I put it out there and I'm okay, because I am at that place now where, because it's my passion, because I'm doing what I like, it's all right.
Yeah, you're ready
because
for
I'm
you.
really doing
That's
it
right.
for me.
That's right. For
I'm just sharing it with the world. I'm not doing it for the world. But, if people find value in it, and it can impact their life in a positive way, then, hey, that's a bonus for me. But, I'm not in a place where I'm necessarily, trying to please. We spoke about people pleasing earlier. It's more about just doing what I love and embracing my craft. So,
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you think
ma'am.
about like how far you want to take it, your writing?
I thought about writing a book, writing a poetry book.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny because when I initially had that thought, I guess sometimes you can't really get rid of the doubt completely. And I was like, oh no, I'd never, I could never go there. Maybe if I actually took up literature as a career, then it would have been possible, but not at this stage in my life. I can write a book, that's the initial thought that came.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay, because
Let's get this book written.
I can.
Why can't you?
Right,
Let's explore that.
do
Why
it.
can't you?
right.
I can because it's just by actually starting, then the ink just flows.
Wonderful.
That's all I would say.
So have you ever thought about doing a poetry night? Going somewhere? I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
That is,
So we can go?
I thought about it, and that's one of the things I'm struggling with now, because I feel like even though I'm posting my poetry, I'm kind of still hiding from doing the spoken word. So if you go on my Instagram page, it's just like written word. Only the first poem, you actually hear my voice. And so I'm like, okay, this is another stage that I need to, another hurdle I need to get over, right? Because I used to perform poetry like when I was like very young. So, I'm thinking about it.
All right. Well, if you decide, I'll be there.
So yeah,
Just do it. Just do it. Go ahead and do it. Yes, we'll be there to support.
I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate that, guys.
But I can relate to that feeling that doubt, especially when you're putting your work out there, right?
Yeah.
Because we're our own biggest critic.
Yes.
And so the things that we see, other people don't see, right?
Yeah.
But it's like because we're so self-judgmental, if that's a word, we judge ourselves. We're just like, you're critiquing everything. So for me, like as a makeup artist, you would think I would post my work so that people know that I'm a makeup artist. I really don't post my work because I start to zoom in and I'm like, I feel like I didn't blend this blush out, or this eyeshadow doesn't look right, or like this hair looks out of place. I don't know, but it really and truly, who's really paying attention? And if you're paying that much attention, you may need something else to do.
That is correct. Too much time on your hands.
Too much time. But then, that comparison as well, too. At least for me, I'm comparing myself to other makeup artists, right?
Yeah.
And so I have to realize my work is not like their work. I'm more into, just enhancing natural beauty. Some people are into the changing the faces and, double cut crease and double wing liner and all of this. And I realized that's not me, right? And so for you, I think, your poetry is your poetry, right? You're writing it for yourself and you're sharing it to the world.
Yeah.
Just, share it, know that it's for you. And if somebody has something to say, you didn't do it for them. You did it for you.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what anybody else have to say. You did it for Adrian, not for anybody else. If other people want to appreciate, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
If they have something negative to say, I didn't ask you, block. That's the best thing about social media. You can block somebody immediately. So, go for it.
I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you find that like throughout all your passions and things like that, that it gives you some type of relief for yourself in terms of, your everyday hustle and bustle or stresses of your life, that when you're doing that thing, your passion, it's just like, oh my God, I'm at peace. I'm okay today. Like,
It depends.
and do you feel a difference if you don't do it? Like, okay, today I didn't do any makeup. Oh my God, why am I so irritable? Am I, do you notice the difference if you haven't done it for a while or today or for a week or something like that?
I like that she says it depends, because that's exactly what I'm thinking too. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on what you...
So doing people's makeup can be stressful. As much as I'm like, yes, and I love having people in my chair and empowerment, it can be stressful, right? Because again, everyone's taste is different. And so what someone may be looking for, maybe I may not be able to deliver exactly that, right? Because if you come to me as an artist, I've realized that my take on makeup is, natural with a little bit of glam, right? And so if you come to me looking for like super full glam, cut crease and double wing line, I'm not that artist for you, right? And so it can be a little stressful when somebody comes to you and they're like, here, I want to look like this. And I'm like, I am not that kind of artist, right? And then again, I think for me, that people-pleasing side as well, too. I want the person to be happy, right? Of course, I'm always going to do my best to put my best foot forward when I'm working on someone's face. But it's just that little bit of anxiety on the inside sometimes that's just like, You know, like when I was doing her makeup, I'm like, okay, I've never done her makeup. And then I found out that she doesn't wear makeup. I'm like, oh my God, how do I, I'm just in shambles on the inside. Little does she know, I'm like, oh my God, I hope she likes it. Oh, you know, so like that can be stressful and anxious.
I did not know that. I would not have guessed that.
No, trust me. And on the inside, I'm like, whoo, okay, Vanessa, we got this, okay? You know, because I have this vision, but will she like it? You know? And so it can be a little stressful sometimes. So it all depends, I would say. But I do love what I do. But I will say, though, as far as relieving stress, when you ask that, when I do my makeup, I think that's the stress reliever for me. Like I can sit in front of the mirror and just blend the eyeshadow out, just, you know,
Take
blending out my concealer, doing 2 layers. And I'm just like, oh, just that for me, that's what relieves the stress. That's like my therapy where I'm just like, you know, I do the skincare and then I'm like, what kind of look do I want to do today? Do I want to do underpainting?
Okay.
Do I want, like, you know, just...
And then just do it all.
And just do it all, right? And so when I do my own makeup and I just sit in front of that mirror and just like, you know, work on myself, yeah, for me, that's the stress reliever. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
For sure. Yes.
It's so similar to what I'm thinking. For me, so because I started this Instagram page, right? I find that I'm putting this pressure on myself to, okay, you need to post. At first it was, you need to post every other day. That's what I'm telling myself. Okay. You need to, you know, I want to be consistent, you know, with this page and stuff like that. And so it becomes kind of stressful for me. And then also writing and poetry and creativity doesn't really like work like that, you know, so I can't, okay, I'll sit and say, okay, I need to write a poem.
It just kind of comes. Yeah.
Like, there's no way I'm going to write a poem with that pressure, okay, to write a poem, you know, so like when I put that pressure on myself, then it's not fun. But so lately I've been just trying to give myself grace and say, hey, you said to yourself that you're doing this for you. You know, this is your process, so enjoy it. So I'll sit, I'll just be sitting. Sometimes my husband, Clinton, he'll see me like jump up. Or I'll be in the kitchen cooking, and I'm like, huh? Like I got
you got a revelation and epiphany.
Like something just came to my mind. And in that moment, it's fun like that. Because then, you know, I'll write that down on a little, you know, on a piece of paper. And then later I just kind of immerse. I light my candles because I'm into scented candles now.
Wow.
And I'll
Nice. You are.
Nice. And I'll just sit and I'll just let it flow, you know, just write. Now, in that sense, it's fun because that's what I enjoy. And, you know, that's what writing should do for me. So,
Okay.
that's my take.
Yes.
What about you, Danako? Are you one?
For me, I just talk my husband's ear off, obviously. You know, and he's just like,
He's in the corner
you're going to
shaking
need to
his
go
head.
get a friend.
Because you're talking
Not
too
working
much.
out. Yeah. So then I just start talking to myself, or I record myself talking.
Okay.
Just whatever I want to talk about.
Got it.
So it is a stress reliever for me if I talk and stuff. That's just my natural personality.
Do you answer yourself back when you're talking to yourself?
Of course. It's not fun if you don't. Hello.
Makes sense to me. Got it.
So I dive into everything.
So you're someone who has to let whatever you're feeling out.
I just have to say it in that moment.
Okay.
You know, some people wait and they stew on it. I'm learning how to do that because some people don't take it well when I just answer right away, or it may not come out as good.
Gotcha.
You've had time to.
Yes. So I'm learning now, you know, let me think about it and then I'll get back to you. So that's my new line now.
Okay.
So I don't, go over people's boundaries. Let's say that.
That's self-awareness.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
definitely nothing wrong with
You need
that.
that.
Yes. I think some of it is stressful when you're trying to plan it and make sure the event comes out how the person wanted it, their dream, what they envisioned. you also think about all the different vendors that come into, is everything going to line up? Is it going to start on time? Is it going to end on time? Are they going to have a good time? So that's stressful when you're doing more than one, dealing with, different people, and somebody says, this is what I want, and then they change their mind after you've already put in the time for that. But at the end of the day, when it turns out really nice and you can sit down and relax and see it all together, it's good. I do say that I'm a tough critic because I'll go back and say, oh man, that wasn't correctly how I wanted it, or the sticker didn't sit right on that little favor box. It just wasn't straight enough. But I mean, we're all tough critics, I think, for ourselves. And like you said, other people don't even see it. It's just us being hard on ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just something that we have, I think.
Absolutely. So my next question would be, I know we mentioned before we started filming, just everyone's passion is kind of different from their 9 to 5. So I kind of want to hear what everyone else's 9 to 5 is and see if they...
Let's do the fun thing. Let's guess first, please.
Right.
Let's guess.
See if that, matches up with our passion, or if it's, completely different from what our passion is. So I'm going to go with Miss Felicia here.
Do you want to guess first?
Guess what you do.
Yeah.
You like to talk, though.
I could be a weather woman.
Sales? Are you in sales? Education?
No.
Okay.
So I'm in the finance industry.
Okay.
So I deal with money every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you create budgets for people, or
all of that, all your financial goals, we can go over it. We can see what's going on right now. How do we need to change it so you can meet your financial goals? Do we need to set a budget? Do we need to reduce debts? How do we fix your credit? So, all that fun stuff. So you can buy all the stuff you want.
yeah,
I like this.
Okay, listen.
All right. It's good.
Definitely.
Miss
That
Niecy?
different from my whole personality.
Well, no, I can see it because you could probably say, okay,
We need to fix
you
that.
spent a little bit too much money this month at Louis Vuitton. I need you to cut back.
Did you budget for that?
Did you budget for that $2,000?
The math ain't nothing.
The math is not mathing. Did you use the credit card or did you use the bank account? Where did these funds come from?
There you go.
We spoke about this.
Yes.
What are we going to sacrifice this month to get to that goal?
She's like, cut down on the Louis Vuitton. If you want, maybe let's do Coach. Okay.
That's right. Got it.
Let's do some Michael Kors for now. Okay. Put down the Chanel.
Got it.
And then let's work on our budget, okay? I could just see her. Now. We didn't plan for this. Yes. Miss Niecy.
So I am a speech pathologist.
Come on now.
So I work with children. I love to work with children. I work with all ages, but my passion is children, or working with children. I teach people how to talk, and they talk too much, and their parents say, "Why did you make them talk?" And sorry, I thought you wanted that. That's what I thought we were working on.
Okay. So you're too good at your job.
Yes, you did your job a little too well.
A little too well.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. Miss Adrian. I feel like
You want to
Adriana.
guess?
Adriana.
I don't know. Did you
She
become
mentioned
the lawyer?
pharmacy school,
You said
so
pharmacy school.
she's a pharmacist.
She did.
Oh, you sneaky.
You did say that. You just said it. You said it here.
Yeah. I mean, I actually work in pharmacy sales, which is kind of weird because
You're talking.
I don't have...
So you sell the drug.
I don't
you're a
have the
pusher.
gift that Felicia does with talking to people, but somehow I do a good job at
Obviously.
it.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Pharmacy sales. Okay, wait. So how did you get into pharmacy sales? Because that's different
It's
from being a
weird.
pharmacist.
No, so I actually work with a pharmacy, and I started out as as a farm tech and processing prescriptions and so forth. And I guess somehow they believed that I could do sales.
They believed in you.
They believed in
The Lord shined his favor upon you.
They believed I could do it before I thought that I could do it.
That was the Lord shining down his glory.
And look at you now.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's me.
Do you enjoy it?
I do now. I mean, at first I was nervous because I'm naturally introverted. You know? And so I was like, well, how am I going to do this? Just, trying to talk to strangers and build relationships, and then much more to get sale. But,
Okay, so do you sell to like doctors and different companies?
I actually work in the veterinary field.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That is okay.
Interesting stuff.
Talk about plot twist.
Yes, right? Because I'm like, oh, she said a doctor's office.
First she said pharmacy, doing prescriptions.
Right. But it's a veterinary pharmacy, so.
Okay.
Yeah. The veterinary industry is big in the U.S., so it's pretty cool.
Of course, we love our pets.
Yes.
Thank you.
How about you?
What about you?
Please, I'm intrigued.
Makeup artist.
Would anybody like to take a guess? Janice, I know you know.
I know.
You're a teacher.
God bless teacher souls. No, man.
You are an IT person.
No. Lord, I barely know how to work this phone.
Okay.
I'm a nurse.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't have guessed. Really?
Yeah.
How long? Woo! Too long, it looks like.
Yeah, because she's
Very long
got to
time.
add the hours.
14, 15 years?
Really?
Yeah.
That?
Straight out of high school.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Straight out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So my high school had a technical program,
Okay.
and then I transferred over after graduation, high school graduation. I transferred over to the adult side of the program, and then finished 6 months after high school graduation, and then I took my boards another 5 months after that, and then
Okay,
So-
nurse, come through. Okay, so mama got her way, girl.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of, because my dad wants me to go to med school and become a medical doctor, but also wants me to go to law school and study medical law. So
Okay, Dad.
my father's still not proud yet. So
Not yet.
But you're there. You're there. You're there.
we're there. We're
Yeah.
getting there. Yes. So I guess I have a thing for people.
Yeah, I could see that.
And you
Yeah.
take care of people.
I do. So I always say I was that weird kid. TLC used to have a show called Trauma Life in the ER years ago, right? And they had a baby show as well too. I used to, as a kid, I used to sit in front of the TV and watch that, right? Trauma Life in the ER, like it was real life based off of like, people having traumatic accidents and then being rushed to the trauma ER, just all these things, right? What 10-year-old do you know is going to be like, I need to watch this show and see how they're, cutting these people out of their clothes and, gunshot wounds, car accidents and, people falling off of trees. And so I always loved that. So even though my parents didn't want me, to be in medicine, but it came to me naturally as well too. So that, so.
Okay.
Then my thing since I was a little bit younger. So.
That's pretty good. So you kind of aligned with mom right there too. Like,
Yes.
it wasn't too far-fetched.
No.
Right.
It wasn't too far-fetched. Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yes. If you could change your profession, do you think you would?
Yes.
I'm thinking about it. I'm doing the numbers. I'm seeing
Coming
who's
from
at
the numbers
highest mark.
person. Yes.
That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah?
I
Okay.
definitely would. When I was growing up, I always wanted to do everything for myself. In terms of if I had a law issue, I wanted to know how to handle it. If I wanted to fix something for myself, I wanted to be like all the professions. I don't know if that was only me as a child. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to know how to do everything by myself. So, that's still in me sometimes. Like she said, she's very creative. At my house, I do that too, just for myself. I want to make sure I can do it, figure it out. Something with my car, I'm listening for the sound. Oh my God, what does that sound like? YouTubing it to see, so I still try to do it in my everyday life.
Okay.
So I think I would, I really wanted to be a psychologist.
I could see you as a psychologist.
Because I really like to talk to people, one, and then I try to figure out why you do certain things. Why would that thought come to your mind? What were you thinking?
Right.
Things like that. So I still try to analyze people still. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'll do it in my next life. Who knows? I might be that psychologist and you can come find me. I'll help you with the Caribbean trauma. You all get 50% off. You need it.
Yes. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes. I got you. Mm-hmm. I think I would do something different. I do like my job. Mm-hmm. I do like my job, but with everything, there's always something extra.
Yeah.
And it could be for management. Mm-hmm. It could be what we have to do to get our jobs done. So I think I would still choose this. I originally wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
When I was in school, and we had a friend who we met here when our family moved to Houston, and she was a speech pathologist, and she's like, "You don't want to do law, you want to do this." Wow. I was like, "Okay." And she said, "You like to do this, you like to do this," and she said, "Why don't you just go volunteer with some kids?" And I did, and I said, "Wait a minute, this is what I want to do." Yeah. Instead, so I changed totally from law to this. So
wow.
Yeah, I love that. It's always good to find people that draw stuff out of you. Right. I just like people like that because we're all struggling to figure out, where do I belong? What do I want to do? Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's such a testament to you or the person when they're like, "Oh my God, I feel like this is for you and you should do it." Like, you know my heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Rhonda.
Yes, girl. Okay, Rhonda.
Yes.
Rhonda.
Yes. What about you?
I think I would be like a English literature professor. It's so weird because I always think that, I mean, my mom was an excellent teacher. She had a gift. And I always said to myself that, I don't have that gift. I could never teach like that. But now thinking back, I think I would have liked to teach literature, teach English.
Yeah,
at
their pens and stuff.
Right. Yeah, but I think I'd prefer to do it at a university level.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I could see you as a professor.
I know, right?
Thanks.
Professor. Okay. All right.
It's not too late, honey.
It's not too late. You can always do
Professor
it.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Only thing you need is a bachelor's degree to work at a community college. Boo.
Listen, you can do some research.
Talk about a side hustle.
Yeah.
What about you, Vanessa?
No, I think I don't see anything else that I could do.
You sure? Not the lawyer doctor thing? Like dual? No?
Yeah.
If it's anything else, it would be in medicine, probably in healthcare. Because I just love it. I think patient education is probably one of my favorite things to do, or just patient relations. So right now in my current job, I get to sit down with patients before they see the doctor. So, or the provider, I should say, because we have doctors and practitioners as well too. So you come and have a visit with me first. I get your whole entire medical history. I get your blood work, and in those in that setting, I get to have conversations with my patients. And so I enjoy doing education and just teaching them. And like, okay, now I see this family history says high blood pressure. Okay, so they're like, "Oh no, I'm fine." More than likely, you may have high blood pressure. So let's get you started on how we can get this blood pressure down, and doing certain things and whatnot. So I love having those conversations with patients. So for me, I don't think I would really change my career path per se, just probably advance it furthermore. So
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
I love that nursing is so, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's vast.
It's vast. There's
Yes.
so many
You're not
different,
confined.
Exactly. So
Yes.
there are a lot of different things that you could do and specialize
Specialties.
in and so forth. So.
Yes. You have IT, you can do IT, you can do insurance, you can do patient coordinator. There's just so much. You don't necessarily have to work the bedside, right? And in healthcare now, a lot of nurses especially are burnt out working bedside. And COVID put an even bigger burden on nurses, right? And so healthcare... post-COVID, before COVID, it was already in shambles. Now in the post-COVID era, it's really in shambles because it's literally a cash cow for people who don't care, right? And so when insurance gets in the way and it's like, well, no, they can't get this test because X, Y, we're not going to cover it just because you guys say you're not going to cover it, or this medication, we're not going to cover it. Now, Wegovy is like the biggest thing. Everybody's on Wegovy, but you literally have diabetics who really need that medication. But now it's like, it's like $1,300, I think, without insurance, and with insurance, it's still like super expensive. Well, okay, the people who want to take it for weight loss, sure.
Yeah.
But what about the people who really need it because they're a diabetic and, you know, or just regular insulin being $600, $700, $800 with insurance? Like, you know, it's just, it's ridiculously expensive. And so if someone is in it for the wrong reasons, it's a cash cow for them, right? And then you have the people who are suffering and struggling. And that's why you have a lot of nurses leaving the bedside now, right? They're like, I can't do this anymore. You know, facilities and hospitals, they don't want to put enough staff on the floor to work. And so, you know, nurses are being burdened with more patients than legally they can take care of or mentally they can take care of. And so, you know, that's how mistakes happen, medical errors happen. And then, you know, you're like, oh, that nurse was irresponsible. Well, yes, but also let's look at the facility, right? Yeah. Why would they allow for one nurse to have 10 patients in a med-surg setting, right? Or, you know, depending on the setting, and giving them more than what they can handle because they don't want to pay for that, right? So it's just like all these different things that healthcare, I mean, it's changed so much.
You're passionate about it. Are you really?
Yeah, we know this is your calling.
But you know, you could do, because there are a lot of nurses now that are in like public health, and I feel like you would love to make like a bigger impact on the system. And I feel like as a public health nurse, or even because you can even specialize in like education or patient education and support in the public health system. So I feel like you'd make such a big impact there.
Well, thank you. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. Pull it out of her.
So
thank you, Rhonda.
That's right. So I think we need to continue this women empowerment.
Yes.
yeah.
We'll have to do it again, guys.
Yes, absolutely. This is great. Yeah. I enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I know. We could talk forever.
But they might not want to hear us on the podcast.
Yes.
Stay tuned for next
But
one.
we don't care what they want anyway.
Yeah. That's right. Uh-oh. Well, ladies, cheers.
I don't have any.
Yes, pour me up.
I don't think there's enough.
It's okay. Let it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus turned water into wine.
Listen.
Yes.
We're good over here. Yeah.
All right.